Hello, my name is Emma Goldstein, and this is the video pitch for Bite Me, my senior thesis. Essentially, I got the idea for Bite Me when I was a freshman in college, and I came home for the summer, and my parents told me, "We're so glad that you finished your first year of college. We're so proud of you. That was a great accomplishment. By the way, we're getting a divorce." I remember just being so shocked in that moment, and I didn't know what to think. I was confused and I was angry because why now if you haven't been happy for this long? And why try to restart your entire lives at this point where now I'm an adult and I'm going to have to try and fit into both of these now separate lives very awkwardly, so I thought. And I remember, I'll never forget, my mom looked me dead in the eye and said, "Everything's going to be better. You don't know it now, but it will." And that just filled me with such rage in that moment because I was like, you can't tell me that it's going to be better without proof that it is going to be actually better. And so I was frustrated. I sat down and I started writing as I normally do when I don't know how to communicate emotions. And I started thinking, what if there was a dream version of my life where my mom is doing the exact same thing that she's doing to me right now, only I could have a dreamy vampire boyfriend like Edward Cullen. And so Bite Me was born. Essentially, Mina is growing up, and her mom has recently divorced her father and moved her away from her father. Mina is not able to contact him. She doesn't know where he is, if he's okay. And her mom just keeps telling her, things are going to be better now. By the way, I have a new fiance named Gabriel, and he's great. He's nice and everything, but he's not your dad. You should pretend that he is your dad, though. You should just let him be that for you. And Mina's understandably upset. And not only does she get Gabriel, she gets Jaime, her new stepbrother, who's a loudmouth. Think Chunk from the Goonies, for instance. And he will just make fun of Mina any chance he gets because that's really his way of communicating his love. And Jaime is based on my brother in real life, who is a pain, but I love him. And part of Mina's journey through this series is she must find out that ultimately families aren't always meant to stick together. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because from that, she gets to experience these new meshed connections that she now has. She gets to find a father figure and a friend in Gabriel. She gets to find a sibling in Jaime who cares for her even if he doesn't always know how to show it because he's 13 and a boy. But essentially, Mina and her new family are settling into this new town, New Belgrade, which is on the East Coast, and it's a fictional town, but it has a deep history of vampire folklore, stemming back to ancient Serbia, where an actual case of a real vampire, Peter Blagojevich, took place, where the villagers were extremely terrified, and he came back and he haunted the town, and he was eventually defeated with a stake through his heart. This eventually moved over to New Belgrade when people migrated over to the States, and since then, that has been this town's thing. It's their witch trials, but they're not Salem kind of a thing. And so Mina comes to this town, and she's trying to settle in, but she's got a new weird family. People won't shut up about vampires. She doesn't know what to do. And yet she gets to meet William, her new dreamy fantasy guy, who's just perfect in every way. He likes all of the same music that she does, which is all old vibes. He dresses in a vintage way. She really just can't get enough of this guy. And the reason she can't get enough of him is because he shouldn't exist. He is a vampire. So now she must essentially figure out what is best for her. This new family, William, her dream guy, but he's not all that he seems. And all of this is happening, and Azriel, our villain, appears. Azriel is sent because this town has a deep history with vampire folklore because vampire activity is very active within the town. And the Council of Vampires back in Romania, with the turn of the century, since this series takes place in the year 2000, the Vampire Council isn't sure what to think of this new technology, and so they send Azriel to go and deal with it. Azriel is an agent of chaos. He loves anything bloody. So they finally got control of Azriel after his time of rampaging and different wars and different things like that, just for kicks. And Azriel shows up into town, and he is going to make sure that he keeps an eye on everybody. But Azriel isn't exactly a good cop. So now Mina must deal with William, she must deal with Azriel, and she must deal with, worst of all probably, her mother. This is Bite Me, by me, Emma Goldstein.